All feelings, all human states are codes for certain phenomena that are coming, that are occurring in our reality. And just like we get positive messages when things are going well, the instrumentation of the human body and the human heart deliver alerts or warnings when things are not going as well. And these are constricting feelings. So envy is a message, and its message is that, number one, you want something. Number two, you don't have it. And number three, you don't think you will have it. Now, when you think of envy in this way, let's say your friend walks over to the ice cream freezer and creates a delectable ice cream cone, and you want one too. So you say, bring me one, and you get one. There's no envy there. You wanted something, it's available, you've got it. But let's say that you live in a town where across the lake is a legendary family. And throughout the region, throughout the town, throughout the country, there is deference paid to this family. This family is always accommodated. The police go out of their way to take care of this family before all else. The police doesn't write tickets when this family is caught speeding. Oh, that's so-and-so family, carry right on through. And there's a sense of prominence, there's a sense of value, there's a sense of specialness, meaning no one else is getting this treatment and I'm certainly not. And this family is wealthy, and this family is sophisticated. So you have wealth, you have sophistication, you have reputation, and then there's a grandeur. The upper tennis courts, the lower tennis courts, the heated swimming pool, and then there's these experiences, there's these parties and food that no one else gets to eat, and there's all these interesting celebrities, and there's all this access. The young men in this family, seem to have beautiful women trying desperately to have sex with them or to date them or to be associated with them. And it's not happening over here. But it's not just that it's not happening. It's like, I'd like to be valuable. I'd like to be a preferred, very important person. I'd like that, but it's never going to happen. The police are never going to wave me through in my Jeep, as somehow, it's not going to happen. Not only are the women not lining up to have sex with me, they're not going to. I can't create that world of, being a 4-star general, being a friend of presidents, having multiple generations in the public eye. That's just not my family. I'm over here, invisible, unseen, not important, regularly brushed aside for these other people, and I want that. I want that feeling. I'm constantly feeling scared, small, and in pain. I want the feeling of abundance, a feeling of importance, rather than the feeling of shame. I want that feeling. I want that experience, and I don't have it. And so there's this sense of pain, this sense, I want this and I'm in pain. I want this and I'm in pain. There's an envy. I want what you have. Psychologically, physically, I want that and I can't have it. And when what we want the most is also what we believe is impossible, meaning I want this more than anything, but there's no way I can have it. When those two combine, I want it more than anything, I can never have it. There's a sense of frustration. There's a dissonance. And in that dissonance and frustration, because the constructive version of this is, I want this, and so I am going to take steps. I'm going to read these types of books. I'm going to take these paths. Meaning I want to be wealthy, so I'm going to study some books on money. I'm going to invest in investments, meaning all wealth is, if it's not inherited, is created by investing. You don't just earn, $1 million salary, et cetera, a year. Rather, you make, X hundreds of thousands or millions, and you invest it. And then invest the investments, and through investing in our particular system of money, you can become wealthy. So I'm going to study investing, and I'm going to put some of my money aside. And I'm also going to study skills that lead to making more money. And I'm going to apply for better paying jobs, and I'm going to read books on negotiating for a raise, and I'm going to ask for a raise, and I'm going to get a raise, and I'm going to court offers and other things. So I'm going to make more money, I'm going to save more money, I'm going to invest more money, I'm going to do a better job in investing, I'm going to diversify my portfolio, etc. And so, within 20 years, whatever, I can be rich. It's not a shortcut, but if that tack is taken, okay, I can manage the money bit. I may not be able to be a 4-star general in World War II, but I can move towards money. And then I want people to treat me with respect and honor. So what's the path in this cult for people to respect another person with honor and dignity? So there's excellence at doing something. There's association with important people who are usually who are good at doing something. So the top 1% in the world at playing the piano, at playing the violin, at being a politician, the top 1% tends to be, first of all, they know how much work it takes to be in that 1%, and having achieved that 1%, there's a sense of, appreciation for other people. And so I want to be in that crowd of highly excellent people in that 1%. And so what is my talent? What is it that I'm good at, that I'm going to go out and really learn this well and become amazing at? What can I do well that other people will say, wow, that is really, really good. And then I, too, can spend time in highly competent circles. And of course, income opportunities go up as you develop a talent. I want to develop a talent. And of course, there are senses that it cannot be done. Some people, they're born with a sick grandmother and told to take care of the grandmother. And so I I can't become wealthy. I'm a caregiver that is not going to earn any money. I can't do this. And so the envy is the byproduct of I deeply desire, and I can't, and it won't, and it'll never happen. In doing so, there becomes, some hostility towards those who have what I want, which I will never have. So this is the deterioration to destroy the object of one's desire. When you deeply envy someone, meaning you feel more and more attention and energy that I want it and I can't have it and you have it. When that goes around intensely, ultimately there's a desire to destroy what I want in you so that I don't have to look at it and be as aware of my pain. Meaning part of my frustration is you've got it. And every time I see you, it reminds me how much I want that. But I can't. I've got to take care of my grandmother. You don't have a sick grandmother. I do. You're not African American in a racist country. I am. It's easy for you. I want the ease. It's really hard for me. I want the ease. You've got it every day. It was handed to you on a silver plate. I want that ease. I don't have it. I'm never going to have that ease. And there are very strong cultural norms, meaning there are strong cultural probability fields that make it, a 10+ year project for many people to fully transition identity from one place to another. There are, real impediments, in education and IQ and in minority bias. I'm part of a minority group that is strongly prejudiced against by the majority. That's a probability field that's hard to overcome. And so I have to be twice as useful, twice as competent, twice as talented to overcome that field. So there's a number of these probability fields that can take 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years to truly overcome the bias in the probability field. But when we clearly identify what we want and are willing to go through 5 to 20 years, maybe 5 to 30 years of effort, understanding the odds, meaning I'm going to lose through no fault of my own for 5, 10, 20, 30 years in this area. Now, you can do different things. You can move to another country. If you're discriminated against, many Jews, for example, moved to the United States where they were still discriminated against, meaning a number of Americans were and still are incredibly racist, not only against African Americans, but against Jews. And so, but there was not the movement to exterminate. There was discrimination, there was racism, there was bias, etc., but there wasn't, we're going to murder your race. And so obviously moving out of Germany to the United States is a step towards, being treated valuably or more valuably. Just as if you're homosexual and you're in a country that will murder you for your sexual preference, leaving that country is a step in the right direction. Now, it's not ideal because there is no ideal environment or world. But if you clearly identify what you want, what you want to experience, what you want. And one, see that clearly. Two, believe that it is possible. And of course, it is all possible, but believe it is possible for you. Then build examples like this person managed to do it. You know, I'm in a racist country, but so-and-so did manage to get on the baseball team, or did manage at least to do this. So-and-so, there's a rich person of my race now. So it's possible. It's improbable. There's a million of us and just one exception, but it is possible. And I want that. Now, when you're working with very slim probabilities, 1 in a million, you have to work your ass off to do it. But if that is a sincere personal desire rather than just a cult program that you should like and want richness because everyone's talking about money. In fact, it means very little to you personally. You just want the thing, you want to be popular, and everyone else thinks that money is the most important thing, and so you need to have some so that you can be important in the eyes of your cult. Moving through it leads to self-esteem, the development of gifts, the bringing of those gifts out into the world, being fixated on the I can't have it leads to envy, and ultimately into the destruction, the attack of that which has what you want and can never attain. And so this is the mechanism and the readout of envy. If you have envy, jealousy, that's what it's telling you. I want something, and I believe I want something, I don't have it, and I believe that I can't and never will have it. And so I'm envious. And you can work with envy as a tool and just say, okay, clearly define what it is I truly want and why I want it. And then B, look at the statistical odds. I'm 14 years old. I don't know of any 14-year-olds able to do this in my world. What about anywhere else in the world? What are my options? Okay, so what about at 21? Do I know any 21-year-olds who have ever done this? Okay, so how could I position myself now at age 14 to study, to learn, to do the things that will take me in that direction? And it's also important to understand, that when you're going for very slim odds, particularly in a cult that likes certainty, people will attack and discourage you from pursuing something that is very unlikely. But if that is truly what you desire, it is a numbers game. If you want to win the lottery and it's 1,000,000 to 1, you're going to have to buy 1,000,000 tickets. If that's truly your goal, and you buy 10,000 tickets a year, you can get there in 100 years or so. So it's it's possible, but it's important to take action, is I guess the message. Shift the belief through research, through understanding, through what would it take to, and the energy of envy will shift from destroying the people who have that to creating a reality where you do as well.